The purpose of this tutorial is to take you through a keyboard introduction that describes what are the keys within the keyboard. My name is Fred Benson. I'm doing this because of the Villages Computer Club Computer Basics. Here is a sample of a keyboard. It's a Microsoft keyboard that can either be wireless or it can be wired to your desktop computer or your laptop computer. Here are the letters within the keyboard. We'll zoom in on those. And here are the number keys within the keyboard. And you'll notice that there are two sections, on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side. Here's a larger view of those numbers. Here are the function keys within the keyboard. Here's a larger version. It's F1 through to F12. And the functions vary depending upon the program that you're using on your computer. We don't need to describe those in detail for Computer Basics. Here's a laptop keyboard, which is very similar to the keyboard you saw before. The major difference is in most laptops you don't have two types of number keys like the one on the right that you saw in the previous keyboard. These are the number keys that are on the laptop keyboard. Here are the letter keys and the function keys. In addition, there's a touchpad at the bottom. That touchpad is equivalent to a mouse. What you do is you put your finger on the touchpad and you move that to the left, to the right, for example. You can move it up and down. And what that does is it moves the cursor / pointer, as other people call it, on your screen within your laptop. Also have a left click, which is equivalent to a mouse. You click on that either once or twice depending on what you're trying to navigate within your computer. And then there's a right click, also like there is on a mouse of left click and right click. This is a registration form that we use in the Villages Computer Club for membership. How do you fill it out with a keyboard? The right-hand section of your keyboard, which has numbers, can be used. You need to make sure that it's turned on. If it's not turned on, you need to click on the number lock. Next step is you need to take your mouse and go to the first box. You then click on that box and then you type in a particular number, for example 5, and then you can continue like the example here, filling that form out. The next thing you need to do is navigate to the next box. Well, how do you do that? One example is you can click on the Tab button and you'll see that the cursor comes down there and it will be flashing. It doesn't show that on the screen, but it would be flashing, showing that your mouse in effect is in that box. The other way that you can do it is just take your mouse itself and scroll down and click on it to go to that particular box. The next step is to type in the first name. The first letter needs to be uppercase, so how do you do that? Well, you use the Shift button and then the particular key like F, and you get the uppercase of F. Next is you just take your finger off the Shift and move to the next letter, like R, then E, and then D. The next step is to continue with your last name and then your email address, and you start putting that in like test, for example. And let's say that you had to put in an underscore within an email address. How do you do that? On the right hand side of the number keys on the keyboard is an underscore that you see at the bottom of that particular key, and there's also a dash that's on top of that. You click on that and you get an underscore. Then you type in a number, for example, like 110, and then let's say you have to put the @ in, like at hotmail.com, for example. What you need to do then is Shift and 2, and you see the @ button. Next you type in Hotmail. After you type in Hotmail, you have to put in a dot, which you see here on the lower right hand side of the keyboard. You click on the dot and then it appears. There's another place within the keyboard where the dot is, and that is if you have a full keyboard on the lower right hand side of the number section, just above the DEL, which is for delete. Then you finish by typing in COM. Once you've done that, then you move on to putting in a phone number. So we start out, for example, to put in 352. Let's say you have to put a dash in. Well, where's the dash? It's up in the right hand side of the number section. You click on that key and the dash appears. You then continue that process and you finish the number and you put in your street address and so forth. If you need more information about other keys within the keyboard, you go into this website, which is very good. It describes all of the keys within the keyboard. We have a link to that site within the definitions section of the Computer Basics portion of our website. Thank you for viewing my video.